Well, hello and welcome to our first segment of Let's Talk About Toenails. I'm Cinder Sparks, a manicurist with Natural Nail Care Home Service here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Our first segment today, we're going to go over the very basics, where you start in the beginning, because that's where everyone should start. We're going to talk about disinfecting. Disinfecting has been a hot topic here in the year 2020, and we've certainly have increased our information, I think, globally about keeping things clean. But take a note to ponder that nail clipper, nail file, other things that you would use to clean your nails usually end up at the bottom of your purse, maybe a cosmetic bag, travel bag, somewhere in your drawer, in your bathroom, or otherwise. Have you ever considered that item and perhaps maybe it needs to be kept a lot cleaner than it currently is? Unless you've had an infection in the past, you may not have had this point to ponder. I'm here today to start our very first series with Let's Talk About Toenails, to talk about disinfecting and keeping your nail implements properly clean. Now, in your family household, if you're able to have individual nail implements for each person, excellent. That's an awesome place to start. But many people aren't able to do that, and it's certainly fine to share. Now, whether you use your own set or you share a set, you should be cleaning your nail implements regardless, in between each time that you use them. And when you clean them, you put them into a proper case so they won't pick up other environmental dusts and grime floating around in your purse. If you keep them in a case, then they'll be ready to use the next time that you need them. So it's a proactive approach to looking after your nail implements. Now, being that I promote natural nail care, I certainly promote natural methods to disinfect your nail implements. Now, let me tell you, this does not involve our sun. It's currently nighttime here, and there is a method to use ultraviolet rays, concentrated ultraviolet rays, to disinfect. You see them fairly commonly now. However, it has nothing to do with what comes out of the sun, because fortunately for us, we have an ozone, and we have a whole spectrum of rays that come through the sun, and leaving things in the sunlight is not going to clean them at all. Vinegar, also love vinegar. Great uses, many wonderful uses for vinegar, but disinfecting is not one of vinegar's properties. So that's certainly not going to be an appropriate disinfection method. The method that is tried, true, and clinically proven is to use a soaking solution that is alcohol-based. You know what? An alcohol, in my books and many others, even though it's a liquid, and it does things that are pretty wild, or it can be very dangerous, because natural things can be dangerous. So keep care that you store things properly, away from children, etc. But you need a high concentration of alcohol. Your regular alcohol that you would be able to consume is very different from what you call isopropyl alcohol. And the alcohol that you need to be able to be clinic-worthy disinfected method is 70%. That's 70%. You need to have at least that much concentration of alcohol to be a disinfectant. Now, we use a lot of hand sanitizer. Those would have varying degrees of alcohol content in them as well. Again, you got to know that you need 70%. And besides that, with hand sanitizers, I mean, it would still clean your implements somewhat. If you're in a pinch and you don't have a concentrated solution, certainly better than nothing for your own personal implements. Not something that's good enough to be sharing. And certainly you would also run the risk of not cleaning your own instruments well enough that it could be retransferring a fungal thing or whatever's left on your implement. So it's really important, even if you're just using the tools yourself, to make sure that you have a proper concentration of alcohol, whether it is a gel, preferably a liquid that you use to sterilize by soaking your tools. And when you soak your tools, you don't soak and leave them there. It's not a place that you store your tools. I recommend that you do put them in a container that you can have a lid on top while they're soaking. That just is a safety proactive measure. You don't want to knock it over or have any littles pull something over the counter that would, go into their eyes. So like ring cleaner, anything that you have that is a cleaning solution, keep it away from children in a way that is safe for you and everyone around you. So when you finish soaking your tools, which doesn't take too long, I would say 2 or 3 minutes is sufficient. They're fully, submersed in the liquid alcohol solution. You take them out and you thoroughly dry them, because you should be using stainless steel implements. Often I suspect that the little bolts that hold them together are not stainless steel, as they can tend to rust in those areas if they're left to soak or not properly dried. So take them out, wipe them off, put them in a case or a plastic Ziploc bag so they don't get dirty and exposed after they've been out of the solution. Next, about information for disinfectant, a little tidbit here. Hydrogen peroxide. Now, hydrogen peroxide is an antiseptic. It's not a disinfectant. It's different. Now, hydrogen peroxide is excellent for nail care. Anytime that you have a little cut around your nail or hangnail, you want to make sure that you keep those areas clean. It's another area for infection, especially in your toes. It's a great product to use, and it's natural. In fact, it's so natural, if it's exposed to sunlight, regular through the window in the sky sunlight, hydrogen peroxide changes to water. So don't take your hydrogen peroxide out of its regular brown bottle or dark bottle, because you don't want a bottle that light can go through it. If you take that out and put it into a bottle that's transparent, you're not going to have hydrogen peroxide for too long. It's going to turn into water, and it won't do anything. So point to note for that. Sure, you can mist it onto your tools, but again, just like the hand sanitizer, it's not the concentration to get the value that you need to really say that your tools are disinfected. Again, alcohol-based disinfectant can also come along in handy dandy wipes, which is perfect when you're using them for your foot bath, which is another important implement of your personal care for taking care of your nails, your toenails. It makes them easier to cut and trim when you've soaking your feet. And I like to use a square foot bath because it fits the feet better. You can use a plastic tub, but only keep this tub for your foot care routine. You don't want to take this camping and use it for other things. This is your personal care item. It's not transferable. And also, when you use a plastic bin, and if you rough up the plastic and it gets little cuts and scrapes in it, that's going to be areas where bacteria can be trapped. So if it's not in good condition, it's not usable as a foot bath. The perfect world, everything could be stainless steel. Those are very expensive. And a plastic tub is just as good as anything if you keep it properly. Use when you're finished doing your foot bath, you wash it out with antibacterial soap, take out a handy dandy wipe it down, or take a liquid solution of alcohol or isopropyl that's more than 70% proof. Spray that in, wipe out the alcohol, put it away, and you're good to go for the next treatment that you give yourself. So I hope you found that this very first segment of Let's Talk About Toenails informative and very valuable to you. I look forward to questions. Please leave those in the comments below. And next time we'll be back here in my lovely Lou in Edmonton talking to you about toenails. I'm Cinder Sparks, your manicurist, and I care about your nails naturally.